we talked about a frighteningly effective Gmail scam, which was affecting a lot of people. And what would happen in this scam was that a user would receive an email that looks like this, pretty innocuous, looks like a basic email with an attachment, except that this was not an attachment. It was actually an image that looked identical to Google's little box when you have an attachment attached to an email and you want to download it. And when you clicked on this image, it would bring you to a Google sign-in page, which again looks completely innocuous. But if you provided your email and other login credentials to here in this form, that information wasn't being sent to Google, it was being sent to a hacker. Google quickly responded, took care of that attack. But unfortunately, a similar attack happened in Google Docs a couple of weeks ago. So I woke up on May 3rd with a bunch of emails that looked like this in my inbox. A lot of people suddenly wanted to share documents with me on Google Docs. Now, a couple of things tipped me off here immediately. First of all, I was BCC'd on this email, and second of all, I have no idea whose email address this is. So I was a little, nervous about this. I didn't click on this link, but unfortunately, some people did. And when they clicked on this link, they were brought here to a screen that, again, looked really similar to what we just saw. Google Docs is asking for permission to do certain things with your computer, and it seems reasonable to allow Google to do this if you want to access this document. Unfortunately, this thing that says it's Google Docs was really more like Google Docs in air quotes. You may have heard, for example, of something called email spoofing, which basically means I send an email from me that looks like it's being sent from somebody else. And the way this works is that email is sent using the SMTP, or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. And in addition to the message that's being sent, the SMTP protocol includes a number of metadata, or headers, that include information such as who it's being sent to, who it's being sent from, where it's being sent from, where replies should go, what time zone, and so on and so on. So if I'm spoofing, for example, I might send an email that appears to be from, say, your HR department, and it's an email that asks for your direct deposit information, your banking information, so that I can make a direct deposit. But though the email appears to be coming from your HR department, because that's what the from header says, I could change the reply to, which is a different field that's usually invisible, to actually reply to me, so that you send the email thinking it's going to your HR department, but really it's going to me because I've pretended to be your HR department. This is really similar to what's happening here. This app called Google Docs is really just pretending to be Google Docs. And if you hover over the permissions page, that Google Docs there, you'll see this information here. And that information does not appear to be legitimate Google Docs. And in fact, if you submitted your login credentials here, it would go to this person and that page there. Now, Google Docs responded very swiftly again to this, just as they did a couple of weeks ago. They, within an hour or so of the announcement of the attack, really started to hit a lot of people. They posted this on their Twitter page, and less than 3 hours later, they had addressed the issue. They had taken steps. They had updated safe browsing notifications, and they had also updated in-email notifications to warn users that an attack like this, similar messages to this, were being used to attack people. So use extra caution and make sure you know the user before clicking on that link. Now, changing gears entirely. Oh, excuse me. Actually, if you want more information about this attack, head to this URL here.